Hey,
You started.
Omar, start us off, please.
It's your turn.
Fuck. What is up, guys? Welcome to what episode is it? The fourth Deezquibs podcast.
number
I'm your
4.
host, Dino.
I'm Ryan.
Hello,
And today we have an interesting topic to talk about, you guys. I don't know why it took us the fourth episode to get to this, but we're going to talk about basically the origin or the story of Deezquibs, how all of this started, and how tragically how we got here.
Tragically, what the? Okay. All
And
right.
how we lost the fourth member. We don't talk about him anymore.
So the story begins, I'd say, it's February 11, right? February 11, 2017 was the date that we created the YouTube channel. But prior to that, me and Ryan we've been discussing about making a channel for the longest time. And I remember it goes back to the end of high school when we brought up this idea. I remember I went to your room. It was senior year. Ryan, we went to separate high schools. He was playing CS:GO.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, why don't you become a YouTuber? And little did I know it would lead to just. I think at the time, YouTube wasn't as it was pretty big, but it wasn't the people who were big at the time aren't really big now. Like Rice Gum, that was at his prime. It was we're talking about 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
Just before Logan the Pauls, they're still on Vine. Vine was still a thing.
Mine was still a thing. That's true.
And then we were big fans of the Asian YouTubers like Timothy, Nigahiga, Wong Fu.
Yep, Kev Jumba too.
Yeah, Kev Jumba. And sadly, I don't think we had any Mexican YouTubers. Shoot, sorry, Omar.
I wasn't in this timeline yet.
Technically, you were, because when the idea was first just a thought, it was during senior high school when I met you.
Oh, it was during.
You were in a timeline. You just didn't connect with. You're like a side story.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the time. So Ryan, I want to ask you, what was your thoughts in the beginning? What did you learn from those times, ending up to today?
Compared from then to now, well, one thing's for sure: being a YouTuber, it's not easy.
No, dude, without a doubt, it's the hardest thing ever.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult, man. Real shit. I give props to a lot of other YouTubers that mostly make videos as their main source of way of living, I guess you could say that. Because what I've noticed too, it's you can I don't know, with YouTube, it's it exposes you to all kinds of many connections out there in the world too, from meeting other YouTubers to meeting celebrities to meeting all kinds of many people in the world. Basically, it connects you one way or another with everyone else in the world somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about you, Omar? For someone who joined at a later time, what have you learned so far?
We need to work on time management.
Not wrong.
We need. Yeah, that's it's a lot harder to think of ideas because it's not easy just to come up with stuff. So that's why we decided to do a podcast.
Yeah.
No, I think it makes sense to make a podcast due to the COVID situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's desperation.
I have a no. I know it's not. I have a question. What did you guys want the channel to be when you were first starting it? What did you want it? Where do you guys want it to head?
Me and Ryan had an interesting idea at the time. Like I said, we're watching those Asian YouTubers.
Yeah, and
so we always had a thing to make skits, what our original videos are like. But also, there's a gaming aspect that we were still trying to implement. Yeah. So the first idea that we always wanted was to make a gaming. You know how people have a gaming channel, and then they have their main channel.
Yeah.
So we wanted Deezquibs to be
all in one,
just one channel, that has both.
Yeah.
But obviously, as time goes on, we learn it's so hard just to implement the video in general, not just gaming or skits. It's just there's a lot of things that go into it, and I think the biggest thing that I personally learned from being part of Deezquibs is just like you said, the time management, how much, like being aware of how many things in life that really like, makes your schedule change.
Yeah.
Like at the time, I was working at Subway, so that was my job that I always had priority. And then when me and Ryan were starting Deezquibs, it was always trying to juggle Subway and Deezquibs. And then we were just starting college, so we had my job, Deezquibs, college, and then Ryan has his own schedule. So to see how it's like a bunch of things are juggling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to balance, to be honest, but you know, time management is like probably like one of the biggest things like I've actually learned like throughout these past years.
And then something that I give you props for, Ryan, that I'm so proud of, is that despite whatever happened, all that shit, all the bullshit that life throws at us, we're still making stuff, and the
Yeah.
channel never died. Yeah, it's how it is. Oh, you want? Oh, yeah, the channel eventually died.
And that's how we lost the other guy.
Yo, yeah, fourth guy died.
Yeah, but I get props to you too, though, Dino. Like real talk, like goddamn, dude. Like despite how much you work and like shit, dude, you still want to willing to put in time to edit everything.
Nah, man, I'm just lazy.
Okay.
Like I said, yeah, it doesn't matter. Like the numbers, if you look at it in the big picture wise, the numbers don't really matter. What matters is that it's alive and we never give up.
Yeah, I don't care about the number. I just want it to be
Oh,
entertaining.
you don't? Okay, you're fired.
Oh.
We're giving up.
Okay, now this is the timeline where we lost another member.
Shoot, there goes that third guy.
Third guy.
So Omar, so another question I want to ask you again. So, how has being a part of Deezquibs changed how you see me and Ryan? Because obviously you were friends. You were somewhat friends with us before the channel. Or technically you were friends with Ryan the whole time. Well, you were friends with me prior to before the channel and currently.
I was friends with you before the channel, but I knew like even
we weren't friends.
Oh, we weren't friends. Yeah, I was like, who's this asshole? What the fuck? But
my bad.
it's what was the question? What the fuck?
Fuck you. Wait, how is being friends? Like how is being friends with me? Like what was it like before Deezquibs? How I was before Deezquibs and how I am after Deezquibs.
Well, it's horrible.
Basically, how was I in high school versus college?
Oh, the same.
Fucking dumbass.
No, I think you were a lot skinnier in high school.
Yo, man, I told you, it's SoCal chicken.
True.
SoCal chicken is dangerous, brother. Shit.
True.
But I think what is it? Prior to high school, we just had high school. That's it. We just went to class, so I didn't really think much. And then you had Subway. Ryan, I didn't know what the hell he was doing. He was probably running.
Ryan was a cross-country captain. He was
Hell no, dude. What the? Not even. I was trying to make a run, boy. What the?
And then now it's like I don't know. I really don't. I can't answer that. Ask me again in like a year because we're still like in the beginning stages, or I still feel like I'm still like getting used to it.
You're about to graduate college.
Yeah.
What do you mean in the beginning?
I'm talking about Deezquibs, not life.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of hard. I kind of made me wish I became friends with you guys earlier because I feel like we could have done a lot more like those like top 10 college stuff, but like it's almost over, so we can't really work on that.
Who said we can't do that now?
Because we're almost 23 and we feel old. We feel old when we go to parties, so that's why.
You're old at 23?
You feel old at 23?
No, I feel really old and out of touch. I feel really old and out of touch when I'm like. I remember we went to a party and all we did, there were three of us, was just stand in the corner and eat chips and eat like Tostitos, and we're like, I told this to Dino, I'm like, dude, I feel so old and out of touch with these people.
That's because I didn't have beer.
There were.
Well, that's someone else's party. So look, I'm like my party. So Ryan's party. See how the atmosphere is different?
Yours died.
Oh hell, it did me. You were the one. You didn't even show up. You were even. What are you saying that you died?
What do you mean? I showed up.
Yeah. Oh no. Now it's about the party. It's supposed to be about Deezquibs.
Deezquibs.
I know where you live.
I do too. Where you?
What was the question again?
You forgot your own question.
You asked me what's the difference? Well, the difference prior to it is I just barely knew you, and then I would hear about how you guys were struggling in that CSE video project, how you guys would procrastinate.
Dude, that's another origin story.
So I thought
that wasn't Deezquibs. That was my first time like with something to do with YouTube.
So in my head, I'm like, oh fuck, is it just gonna be full of that? Like these guys just procrastinating movies, and it turns out I'm right. No, I'm just like, it turns out like, well, yeah, everybody has their own life now. You know, everybody's like, you have a job, Ryan has a job, and everybody has to try to, like, even in these 40 minutes, it's hard to just come together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not easy.
Yeah, it really isn't. Yeah.
Like I don't even want to text you guys because I want to hold it in for the podcast.
All right.
Yo, that's how it be, man.
It'd be like that, yeah.
Yeah, so I want to ask you, Ryan, the same question. So how was our friendship like evolved through before Deezquibs and after?
Oh, you know, gets more danker all the time. You know, yeah. We still fuck around a lot. True.
Oh,
I don't think there's a time when we didn't.
Yeah, because they're always goofy as shit anyway. We always like we just fuck around, you know, like make everyone laugh, whatnot, you know, and then you know, make more videos, make them more danker than the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is the origin story for those who don't know. So me and Ryan, we go way back to freaking elementary school. So
Yep.
I moved to. Basically, I've been living in San Diego my whole life, but I didn't move to South Chula Vista until 2006. And then 2007 is when I went to Veterans Elementary School, which is where Ryan was going to. So I think that's when I first met him on the playground. Did you play wall ball?
Partially.
Dude, I remember the first thing I played tetherball, and all the girls were too good, so I left. All the boys are playing wall ball, so it's where I found my niche. But basically, that's where I met Ryan. So elementary school is where like our friendship developed. And in middle school, I remember every middle school morning, I'd always see you at the table. So that's the first time I think our friendship like developed even more, because I would see you. Basically, we didn't even have any classes together, but I just see you.
We did.
Yeah. See, if you notice those days, sometimes I have a guitar, because I was taking a guitar class at the time. But I was embarrassed, so I would drop off the guitar at the classroom and
wait, you play guitar?
Yeah. I was like, it's a guitar. You know how in middle school you're like self-conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, because I don't know why, but for some reason when I was holding my guitar, I was like, oh, everyone's hella judging me. Like, why does this dude got a guitar? You're stupid. So I'd drop it off at the classroom, and then I'd go to you. And at the time, I had super long. I thought I was a skater. And middle school, self-consciousness was real. I remember when my mom made me cut my hair, then I felt like everyone was judging me. Like, that's how bad it was.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, as you get older, I was like, the fuck, it was just a guitar and some hair. But basically, yeah, that's just the middle school. I think high school is where it got interesting, because you went to the high school across from my high school.
Yeah, I went to Otay. You went to Olympian. Yeah.
So for people who aren't familiar with the San Diego Chula Vista area, there's one high school named Olympian where me and Omar went, and then across the street or down the hill, there's another high school. I don't know who designed it that way, but that's just how it is. They're the rival schools.
Man, hey, we're older than you guys. Come on now.
All right, we'll give him that. We'll give him that.
Yeah, we'll give him that.
Yeah. So Olympian, when I didn't see Ryan, is actually when I met Omar, but that was not until senior year.
Yeah, we were in the same computer art class. I'm pretty sure we played CS:GO against each other.
Yeah, we sat across from me, so that there's no way I would have spoke to you.
Yeah, I sat next to well, I can't really say their names, but I sat next to two of our other troll friends. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I saw it, I'm like, this dude looks stupid. Hope I don't be his friend.
I remember when I saw you in my English test, I knew I was like, this guy's gonna do nothing.
Hey, you were right. Oh, good time, man. Dude, high school went by fast, dude.
Dude, we're already graduating college. Fuck.
Well, I'm not graduating anytime soon. I know you guys are. Though. That's all you.
I mean, you're almost, buddy. How much? Let's not talk. Yeah.
What?
Because I feel like we're giving too much personal information. Should we give off our social security next, sir?
This is an origin story, so you're just talking about your origin. You can't talk about origin story without being personal.
Like X-Men, Wolverine.
Dude, that was the trash movie.
Was it? I didn't ever saw
Yeah, that
it.
was the bad one.
So it was trash podcast.
That's how it is, man.
First senior year, I don't even know how we started talking. I don't even remember.
I think let's just say we had a friend who was we can't, for confidential reasons, so we won't name him. But he was he was a mutual friend.
Yeah, and then you asked.
His name's Jerry. We'll give him that.
I think the first thing you asked me was, or was it one of our other friends? He asked me, "Do you like basketball?" And then I said, "Yeah," and that's how I think it started.
Wait, I asked you that, or
something like that. Like you asked if I watch the Lakers or if I cheer for the. I'm like, no.
Oh yeah, and you're a Thunder fan. No,
Yeah.
no, that's from the other friend. Let's call him M.
Yeah.
Yeah, M said he likes the team from Washington. You said you like the team from Oklahoma.
Yeah. And then that's how it started.
M was a little bitch. For those who know M is we'll have him on as a guest. But
yeah.
No, but M is the reason why I met you again in college.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have met you. And then the first time I had lunch with him, I saw a guy. When I was eating lunch, I looked to the right and I see a guy taking a picture of me and him, and I realized it's Ryan. Later on, I realized.
Wait, so when this guy was taking pictures, you didn't know that was gonna be your future YouTube goals?
No, I didn't know. I just did him. He took a picture, and I see him smirking, texting, and I'm just like, "Boy, what is this dude's problem?"
You wanna know what's funny? That same picture he sent it to me. Remember, Ryan, didn't you ask me who's Mark on a date with? Oh wait, that's his name.
Honestly, I didn't say that.
All right, now you guys know who M is.
Yeah.
Well, if they didn't catch it, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Basically, Ryan asked me who's M on a date with. I was like, wait a minute. Well, that's how that's some dude from our high school. that's how I described you.
And I remember he told me, "Do you want to meet Dino?" And I said, "Nah." But then I was like, "Okay, fine." And then when I met you, I was like, "Holy shit, this dude got fat!" Like,
I'm telling you, man, SoCal chicken don't lie.
He evolved, and I asked when the baby was due, and the first thing he told me was, "Have you seen the Lakers?" And I'm like, "Dude, I still ate."
Tell you that's viable.
And then I just kept fat shaming you, which worked.
I don't think it did.
I think it did. And then I remember you told me, "Do you want to meet a troll guy?" And it's the same dude that I saw.
Yeah. See, guys. This is exactly how I met Omar. I shook his hand, and then after that, I fucking pointed at the tree. I was like, "Oh, what's that?" Or, "Oh shit!" Everyone around us looked, and I was like, "Oh, there's nothing there."
Dude, everyone thought it was like someone fell, like it was an emergency.
Yeah.
He was wearing an anti-hentai hoodie, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then that same day before we left, he's like, "Oh my god!" And then you can hear the echo of it, and then everybody just looked up, and then he's just staring up, looking. What the fuck? And I looked down, I'm just like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" And then I realized.
See, that's Ryan. That's Ryan.
That's how I slowly, surely.
That's so funny how like he introduced you to him.
That's how me and Ryan slowly started. And then I remember I watched because I think when I was in community, I saw you guys on YouTube, and I would watch those.
That's good.
And then I'd be like, "Oh, I know that guy." And then
You did no. Remember you said when I first reunited with you in college, you said you seen the YouTube channel.
yeah.
I think that's what led me because at the time Ryan was texting me to meet up with him. Then you told me you saw the music video, the YouTube channel. And I'm like, oh, you want to meet? Yeah, you want to meet Ryan, the other guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, who? And then I see him, and I'm like, oh wait, that's the guy that took pictures of me at lunch.
Yup.
And
That's
then
actually pretty surreal. Oh,
It's surreal, yeah.
and then I followed you on Instagram, and then
then you blocked him, right?
yeah, no. Then the first thing I see was like some dude, one of our friends handing Ryan like Corey in the house, and then he started crying, and then I thought, what the fuck?
Wait, at school? Was I there?
No, I think it was the day of his birthday, because his birthday is on Ryan's birthday. Like you guys went to somewhere for a buffet for his birthday.
Brona, it was Brona.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember now.
That was one of the first posts. I was like, what did I get myself into?
Yeah. Yo, that's limited edition Corey in the house, man.
I have to
try that copy.
Hey, Dino, I have the DS and I have the DVD now. DS game.
Bro, you might as well just be. Dude, we should have him as a guest.
Corey Baxter.
Yo, the real Corey. But is he in legal trouble? Is he in jail?
No, he's like famous on Instagram.
Oh.
Dude, you should see his comments on Instagram though. It literally says Corey coming back to the White House again.
Yo, he should.
It
was one of the best times on TV.
Yep.
I remember you did the DVD, and then the next year, me and Dino, like, you printed out an
anime poster. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. That was art.
Hand drawn by him.
Oh, nasty.
And then I gave Ryan like a JoJo whatever, like
the JoJo DVD.
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
But going back, I slowly began hanging out with Dino a lot, and then that's how it kind of started. That's how I was just like, I just hung around, and you asked me to be like the camera guy. I was like, sure, whatever. I'd just be around, and then surely enough, I realized I made a big mistake.
Sorry for that, man.
Yeah, PG, bro.
No, then it was the anime.
Feel free to leave. You know, you can leave.
I'm still talking about the origin.
I can just end this podcast. Or I'm gonna end it.
Then it was the anime nights, and then that's when I would be around Ryan a little bit more. And that's when I got
Mm-hmm. Oh, now that brings me to my next topic. So talk about how just being around me and Ryan, how did that lead you to like Samahan or the other stuff that me and Ryan are a part of?
Is that a part of the Deezquibs origins, or?
Technically, it is part of me and Ryan's.
Technically.
I think
that started at the same time we started his YouTube channel.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it's about the same time. Yeah.
I think it was during those times we hung out. What the fuck was the question? I think about somebody. What was the question?
I mean, basically just I want you to talk about how your friendship with us like started to evolve. The more you hung out with us.
The more I hung out with you guys, the more I hang out. You guys invited me to stuff, and since I don't have anything to do, I just went, sure, I'm fucking down. I'll join, and then and I went to those like anime movie nights, and then I would meet those like I don't know, those group of people, and then I'd be like, these guys are almost the same.
About R?
Huh?
You're talking about that certain person R?
I don't know if this is a joke or I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Ends with Lee.
Huh?
Never mind. It's too confusing for the audience. Continue your story. Continue. We'll discuss this another time.
I hung out, and then the more I hung out with you guys or the other people, I was like, oh, these guys seem pretty cool.
Seem?
I didn't know who was. Dude, when I came, I didn't hang out with anybody until M came and told me about you and everybody else.
Hey, fuck M.
I'm good.
Yeah.
And then the more I hung out, you guys told me like you guys should join. Well, it wasn't like telling me, it was like basically like peer pressure. You guys like join, please join.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat your ass if you didn't.
Yep, you're not wrong. I agree.
But then I remembered, I was like, yeah, I should join. I like these people. These people are cool. And then I joined, and then somehow, some way, it just I just stuck around.
Yeah, that's how it is, man.
Yup.
See, and you enjoyed it, right?
Yeah, because then I met this small person, and then
See, the reason I wanted you to talk about it, because like you said, remember, this is about like the origin of Deezquibs. I think one of the things I learned just from being a part of the YouTube channel was like I said, remember, life gets mixed in, which is why probably the progression of the channel isn't as like, compared to someone who's doing it full time. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff about life that I've learned, like just being a part of this. And for example, it was interesting that we were doing it at the same time. Well, I was gonna say while we're in college, but we technically still are when our last semesters. But basically, just doing YouTube at the same time doing college, what I learned was like it's just about experiencing lots of different things and really like seeing what you can do differently and new stuff, new people, new experiences. And I think that's while trying to build a YouTube channel, I think that lesson was something I never expected to learn.
Yeah. For me, it like expands your horizon and gives you like more views to look at, or like, you know, making stuff and whatnot. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll go back to when I joined. I think that was this. I think when Ryan was trolling me, or when we were at Shake Shack and I was trolling with somebody, they were just fucking around with me. I'm just like, what? I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, did you know it was Ryan? Did
No,
you tell me you knew it was him?
No, I hung out with Ryan, but we just because I remember we were at Shake Shack, and then the lady was like, I'm gonna throw this away for you."
Oh,
like,
yeah. Oh, just being around him in person.
Yeah. Like the worker was like, "I will throw this away. It's my job." And he's like, "Nah, you're good, bro." And then he went like this, and I was like,
I literally dapped her up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Shit, do it, real Ryan. Technically, if you were to do that now, you get in trouble.
Oh yeah, because like you're cross contamination.
Social distance.
Oh, social distance. Yeah,
Damn, dude. See, that was only like 2 years ago, huh? It wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah.
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, but it feels like it was ages ago.
No.
And then then that was about it. Then we kept me and you, Dino, went to Disneyland, and that was about it.
Oh, those days are fun too. So since we're on the topic of college, how has your college experience been? Let me ask you that. Because technically, you can always tie Deezquibs as part of our college experience since it happened at the same time.
Who wants to go?
Ryan. Who wants to?
I'm still trying to think of what else to say.
Omar, you go first.
Okay. Well, my first years was spent in community, and the whole time I was just like studying, and like in the library the whole time. I was just just by myself, and then I would see your guys' videos, and I think those were funny. That's like one of the few things that I would like kind of like just like I would just kind of subscribe to and just watch. Like it'd be one of the other few channels that I would watch, and then I was like, in my head I'm thinking like it'd be weird if I worked with them, but they probably don't remember me. Like especially you, Dino. I was like, he probably doesn't remember me.
I know, but I like that. I like that you were a fan. Like
stuck with us.
Even before we who knew that you'd actually lead to this.
Yeah, because I went isolated the 2 years because I didn't talk to you at all. I didn't talk to anybody. And then I remember the last conversation we had was I don't think we could say it, but I just said, "Is that Subway money?" And she said on Snapchat, like, "Hell yeah."
I start slanging sandwiches, brother. How it is in the streets. Just because they order to go, obviously. If they wanted to, they could just come in and order themselves.
Yeah, or curbside pickup, you know. And then when I got to, obviously once I transferred, I was like, I'm probably not gonna like stumble upon them. You know, this is a big campus. And then of course M comes along, and then of course I see Ryan staring at me taking pictures, and then of course I meet him later, and then that's how slowly but surely they Dino invites me to more stuff. We start pulling, and then Ryan, we go do stuff with Ryan, anime night. We get invited to more stuff, and then sure enough, I just there. Then you asked me to like, I'm gonna promote you. I'm like, I'm not even hired.
Uh-huh. Dude, yeah, dude, it's so funny because you said those 2 years when you're quote unquote isolated. I think those are like the 2 years that I think I've learned. I think that those are like, well, I wouldn't say the best time of college, but it was the most like learning. I would say because my whole time in college was always like those first 2 years. Me and Ryan were fooling around like crazy.
We were.
Like, that's where we had the best professors. School is easy. It's not easy, but it's not as hard as it is now. But dude, those two to do. I was having the fun. I was having the time of my life. I was going crazy.
Yep.
I was see Ryan's posts. Like I scrolled and I was like, "What the heck were you guys doing your first 2 years?" Because you told me about the SoCal chicken. Now, if you can tell everybody that.
Oh, dude, that was fucking good.
SoCal chicken was dank, but then it I don't know. As time got on, it's like you get tired of it. Well, I got tired of it like probably like my sophomore year. So yeah, I ate it every day like my freshman year, which is causes the freshman 15 or freshman 50 is what I call it.
I feel the same way. I think because in high school we were given like just the generic food, not something too special.
Yeah, but then here in the
college, so when your food, you always have access to the food court.
Yeah,
I want to go crazy.
I know, like I was like, damn, y'all fucked up.
Dude, yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Going back to his first 2 years, I think it was the first time not only were me and Ryan doing Deezquibs, but we were part of the clubs.
Yeah.
Me and Ryan we had I think people are used to the term like we have bigs. We have someone who's like above us as a mentor. But for me,
great emphasis on that. Great emphasis on that.
Yeah. This is a Filipino club specifically because I think that was the one that I invested most of my time into it. So me and Ryan had we call it ate, which is like big sister in Tagalog.
Yeah.
So I think that's that was part of my college experience. And then 2017, our second semester, I think. No, was it? No, that's when we started, right?
Second semester 2017, spring 2017. That's when you first picked up. Yep.
Yeah, so that's when I started our club experience. So I think that time I'm learning. Both me and Ryan are learning about like ourselves as a person. So I think that's why the YouTube channel wasn't like we're still doing Deezquibs, but it wasn't something we were striving to do like all the time. Yeah. It was a hobby.
Like for fun, yeah.
Yeah, which it still is, but I was describing at the time. And then the year after, I think me and Ryan became Kuyas. We became the bigs.
Yeah, well, technically we became the bigs that spring 2017, but yeah.
That's true. And then we got Omar.
Yeah, then I realized you're my mentor. What the fuck?
See, it all comes full circle, man.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, and then something I have to give you so much props for, Ryan, is during those times too. I think because I switched jobs from Subway to what I'm currently doing, working for the police. I think obviously the relationship and the time I wanted to put into our littles or our outings, it was very limited. But you were always there for them, so I always. Not only were you there for them, but you're always there for me also. So that's why I got to give you big props.
TY.
So I got to tell you this, Ryan. You're the real Kuya.
What the?
Even stepping down?
Then he starts crying like. Yeah. See, man, as going back to how we first started, you know how like it's all about juggling time and stuff.
Yeah.
As I was doing my job, I think all of the little time I had was, I think, just hanging out with you and most of our like local friends. But then as things evolved and got better, I feel like I kind of got better with it. Started just trying to be more of a better Kuya and stop being such a workaholic.
What about you, Ryan? What did you do so far? Your college, your first 2 years.
First 2 years of college for me, it was like a learning experience because, like, for one, it's like this is kind of like one of your like few like because when you're young, you're not really like exposed to the real world as much, in my opinion, at least. Because like here, it's like this is like when shit starts to get real. Because like all of high school, like you hear that like college isn't easy, and then come like when you go to college, yeah, this shit isn't easy. I think one like couple things like I've like probably like have like really changed my views and whatnot of like growing up and like going through in college. It's like you gotta be able to manage your time and be able to juggle certain things, because like whatever it is, like whatever happens in life too, like it always happens, That way, like anything's always bound to change. Always like keep that in mind too, or like always expect the unexpected. It's probably like one of the things I've actually like experienced a lot in college so far, at least, or like still going right now.
Mm-hmm.
That and also it also matures you a lot as well, in my opinion.
No, that's good. I think the biggest experience that college has given to me, I think it's just meeting a whole like a variety of people.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, a lot of the friendships that that we have today is actually not only new people from other places, but also like people from our elementary school and old friends. Like Omar, we reunite in college.
Yeah.
Not friend.
Oh shit, my bad. Coworker.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just interesting how it's an interesting time where like you really develop as a person.
Yeah.
I think people are too focused on like the academic parts of it when they should be focused on like the whole big picture.
Yeah, because when you meet other people out there in college, it's like these people could possibly be your own bosses too,
Yeah, it's about like networking.
Yeah, because like yeah, that's for sure. Like big thing in college, network as much as you can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or they could be your mentors.
Yeah, mentors.
Oh,
yeah,
shoot.
definitely.
Yeah, you can mentor his ass.
What the fuck?
No hetero though. No hetero.
All right, guys. I hate to say it, but that's gonna wrap up our podcast today.
Damn.
That was
Final
fast.
thoughts?
That was fast.
Yeah, we're at the 40-minute mark already. Well, that's how we don't have sponsors.
Right.
All right, last few words. I love our audience, Lamau. Love you, Big Baller Brand. Love you, Ice Tray. Love you, everybody. God damn it, we're back.
Yo, all the new viewers are like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, they're gonna.
Okay. Like in the podcast later on in the future, we'll talk about the clubs we're in. We'll talk more about it, I should say, because there's a lot more. Like, I should probably like start explaining too, because like.
Oh, he's about to spill the tea.
Because I will say this right now. Me and Dino and Omar, we all have a lot of littles.
Ooh.
Well, not as much as you do.
Omar, any final thoughts from you? Nope. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye. Take care.
I ain't been up on the block in a minute. I've been missing out the walk with the minute. I've been building up the blocks like a minute. Elliot, the water dripping out the city. Oh my God, boy, he got a Glock. Oh my God, boy, that boy on top.